Mr. President.
Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President. Mr. President.
I ask you to be citizens, not spectators. I ask you to be citizens, not spectators. Responsible citizens, building your communities. And I ask you to be citizens, not spectators. Responsible citizens, building your communities and our nation.
Adiaba kupe, and I'm sorry, me so my Ghana bet me akoso. And on behalf of over 30 million Ghana for nyina ya sorry na ya kire ya dwen ni ama president ehun ye ekoso e wo Ghana ha. Mr. President, and now address ya de eba no e Ghana for assessment of our second term our office. First 100 days. A day any day. And now why a diabo Ghana for a baby about transfer first 100 days was sorry no address Ghana. No address said you wait to me here. As a matter of fact, we first term our office who address Ghana for Dr. Baumia and address here. Did you Ghana-Kofi Asante? Bijahama Ghana for nipa beye opepepe aduasane akira yade atumi ama Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, the president of the republic, adu preman adu do the do. You will address you our most relevant issues our my Ghana 2017 na April bosome naimu Dr. Baumia ba ka kire Ghana for we share 100 days our bar office we achieve 103 achievement to the boise boni na physical deficit economy culture tourism agriculture and you Ghana for share you who ensema no Ghana for na the country was on charge be bia than akwemu afekwa na no aba betra konya so. Mr. President, I think what Ghana for South to Abama was second term. Emma will buy 100 days to do a chum. Ya share ni more say, we be address ye. Now watch and so 100 days now would you know. I can jamiatum say why anyway. Mr. President, we'll be antere. The Ghana for say any ankasa who assess you. Who assess your first 100 days in office. If you are not able to tell us, indeed. Unlike first term now, Dr. Baumia, Emma, 103 achievement. That was in that address, and Mr. President, Kaiwo. Dr. Baumia catch Ghana for say watch Sidino and $2 million. I just $1 no. Why background? Watch no. They are shy jeep bottom, and I just Inspector General Police. What did be at all? You tell Dr. Baumia in 2017 exactly what he said. In fact, I told a baby was and in fact, this is what Dr. Baumia said.
We thank the Almighty God for delivering this country to us as a party to govern, and also for delivering our economy from the throes of economic mismanagement. President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and the MPP promised the nation that our government will transform the economy by ensuring that we replace incompetence with competence in the management of the economy.
The year 2016, 2017, Dr. Baumia, your vice president, Ghana for one day, one achievement. Just a that could be achieve. Mr. President, the second term I want Kasawa transfer for 4 years. Can you say every day in your first 100 days, you better when you one day one achievement. Ghana for Mr. President. When him say, na me come book kuma yay. Bibi anywhere SEO. The last time I tell you your first 100 days from your appointment of first ministers and now the deputies at Waso. We here and I the two just say you declare war on Galamsey for the second chapter. And a debut. And I just say what say wakati akrano afi Ghana for suntino want to wakati yay. Bibia school kwala the last time I check here school kwala kosun school and wo musa ba fie 2 weeks nkwala e ma kwan ene yete ye ne nkwala ni sanko school. What is going on, Mr. President? Ghana for say Jidia ye nya ye wo mu. I have your own man abronye abro for regional chairman of your own party, Mr. President. Abronye wo message with the man on May Day. Yes, I know COVID aba. Mama Ghana for nya hypocrite. COVID aba. COVID ed wo hawaba. COVID ed di niema nyina akona asay wo man no. Yes, we understand. But John Dramani Mahama ye nyina di natam that man was incompetent. Who can be vice president? In fact, who can incompetent Mama Mahama or tie duane asena no mukra na osu. You call me incompetent. Ghana for can incompetent. In fact, when you hear Dr. Baromia with confidence said you be see Fred Mahama incompetent. Aye nyina ka che John Mahama say he was then incompetent because na niema bebre nkoyie. We had the trust. Ghana for GD say Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo on May 11th 1995 kumi prekon Nana Addo to me sorry nini na so when Nana Addo kura wo party mu keke na wadi nsamfo na Nana Addo ahwew Ghana for nya GD wo mututo. Mr. President, Ghana for trust you. Ghana for nim say ubetimi atia wo nkofo Galamsey who born dog so be sorry akona na do anim na wo ye Galamsey no watwo no washaw na so wadi nsamfo ana akọ nana sesi Ghana for so ye hwe ha o we ma no kro no na ese ka kire wo Ghana for say wo second term yi wo hwe ha sa incompetent na ye frɛ John Dramani Mahama ye nyina ye ka bi wo hwe Ghana ye GDP wo hwe Ghana ye ka anu se de resi kosoro na economy no esai ni ade ade Dr. Baumia described no very perfectly.
After this sad catalogue of the state of our country, it is remarkable that His Excellency the President will complain about the use of the word incompetent, but we understand that His Excellency does not want us to use the word incompetent to describe the performance of this government. We set aside to find ways, we set our minds to finding out what other what the NDC government has been very competent at in the last 7 years. Actually, we have to admit that this NDC government is very competent at the following. Very competent at mismanaging the economy. This government is very competent at creating, looting and sharing. This government is very competent at propaganda. This government is very competent at perpetuating doomsday. This government is very competent at increasing unemployment. It is very competent at collapsing the NHI. It is very competent at cancelling teacher trainee allowance. Very competent at cancelling nursing training allowance. It is very competent at not meeting statutory payments. It is very competent at not paying contractors. And this government is very competent at making Sada Guinea fowls run to Burkina Faso. This government is very competent at collapsing competent at collapsing agriculture. It is very competent at causing massive exchange rate depreciation.
Hey, Dr. Baumia, Mahama ya competent. That's Obama confirm to Ediako Burkina. Can we say that again? Say the MPP is competent in ensuring excavators entimin tunyira. Debbie Ghanaians deserve better. Mr. President, Ghana for a second term in first year. And Yamanya Dabi young country. So big do shedem no banu abe catch on Nana Bibia Koswa Obwa, Nana Bibia Nkoye. This is Sabre Besine, Yentiminya Mobia Dina, tension, na ase obi anhu ba bi on fa kranse na niema akoso galamsey enra Eastern region 19 supposed national security operatives yachi womo Eastern region yachi womo supposed national security operatives omukuratuo in the name say omukwa akopamo minus womo nsu kwa kotubi apolice fuachi womo yeti kromu police any military the bunny our mining site Mr. President ye hwesa niema we nyina into obi anka wo he nana eniema yo kasa adusho man kasa na de ekoso no manfo sa we ya hwe ha dodo ba omia was it to whom much is given much is expected okansa se mo etro John Dramani Mahama yentie.
At a public lecture in September 2008, the then Vice Presidential candidate, John Mahama, said, and I quote, "To whom much is given, much is expected," end quote. I would like, with his permission, to borrow his exact words to describe his government's exact performance in the last 8 years. In this regard, it is important to emphasize for the record that measured in terms of today's dollars and cedis, no government since independence has had the amount of resources in terms of tax revenue, cocoa exports, gold exports, oil revenues, and loans as the two NDC administrations between 2009 and 2016. Under the 8 years of the MPP government, from 2001 to 2008, taxes and loans only amounted to 20 billion Ghana cedis. In contrast, taxes, loans, and oil revenues alone over the last 8 years would amount to 248. The Mills Mahama government over the last 8 years would have had more than 12 times the nominal resources that the MPP had. 12 times the.
Observe, Adiaba Kope and a Ghana for Abisa. Say a mistakes of John Dramani Mahama. No, are we seeing same? I want another than Kwakofado. I'm a Muswana. Nana, Obien say how? Just say in someone. Any cancer, ya the foul feature no. Nana than Kwakofado we know. Obien how competent you are when you maybe nana. Obia soon just say hey, see I just imagine within a space of 3 weeks our Ghana ha. Yeah, school kwale bie ya to school mu school fees bo ekosoro petrol bo na wiem nkania bo na wiem electricity na wiem na covid no ada yankwa na kai yankwa na covid kai wa ha ena bibia nkoso ena yate na yedi obi akasa no ababepem obi akasa no ababepem. Dr. Baumia from January ebesine the last time I met Baumianka na okwa bie a digital center bi and one minute Dr. Baumia bi doctor adan the competent economist no adan says yeah well economy book no akwadan no we need to look at it Dr. Baumia sorry na niam akono enye things are not good as it is Ghana for bleedy the Ghana for person e ka kire na nado dan kwakofo ado ne say it is a time say you bet me sorry na ye bibi e de Ghana. In fact na nado dan kwakofo ado gidi a Ghana for wo mu the trust what politicians mu no it is fading say ya na ekoswa for the next 4 years oh dabi nana enye Dr. Baumia the competency ana wotete edema Mahama no obi ebisa say even your own abronye bro I have for regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party on May Day ya message you know the man Mr. President
you couldn't play style no under your government they said yeah we are against the dodo the next May Day what to so address it are they what to so address it back to 1995 is coming. Onam tuomu nam tie gas mu no namu. Ala dia na asesa. I'll be that for mu asu no dey akotua chaw ama binu na ma ba be pacho. Panomo. Withdraw the person immediately because we fairly what didn't come out here. Ever go and you must watch them here because Chroma the beer. Now, some person will not confuse there. Don't align yourself with certain people. There are certain people, it's about time you ignore them and move ahead. This is the time you want to ignore certain people and move ahead. You know, seriously, in so a zano man for what akwakoya bɔne country of state for mo na motu mampanyini fo na sɛ mo ma sa appointment ne kɔfo de akyɛ sɛ mo ntu fo pa.
Mr. President, adeɛ baako pɛ ɛna ɛsɛ yes sign. Now watch this in less than 1 week wohwɛ social media Twitter buafu na nneɛma nyɛ na nneɛma nkɔye ɛna wo Mr. President wo explode here. You led them. You spoke your voice. And my Ghana folk who say things are indeed very bad. Mr. President, no, just watch it. The security, the BNI, and the NIB, the national security, Mom gather intelligence, and man for bleedy, Ghana for bleedy, a lot emotions, and it was so a sign. In less than 2 days, Nipa over 5,500 and air tweeted just like that. And these are not party members; these are ordinary individuals. One sign per catcher and say, "Eniema is terrible and things are going." Say, Mr. President, one sorry, what point is? Asheha Nipa say Eniema. Na yo yan carry evidence ya che excavators ya betime yusuro ya twaja atum abra individuals binom de obutimi do excavators fm no ma drive no mo de free side na ko twa mansa apanda nkwa bi a wono de oni obi ano ya digya ato ne die machine wa. Oh, it is just a sign say things are getting that bad. Mr. President, Bawumia at the voice way ma John Dramani Mahama ahead of 2016 election. Minimu dear says this voice this time round. You bet me about our voice will be one.
Teachers are suffering. Teacher trainees are suffering. Nurses are suffering. And nursing trainees are suffering. Patients are suffering. Students are suffering. Parents are suffering. Pensioners are suffering. Drivers are suffering, contractors are suffering, civil servants are suffering, and farmers are suffering. Fishermen are suffering, and industries are suffering. Artisans are suffering, and kayaye are suffering. The disabled are suffering, and men are suffering. Women are suffering, and children and Ghanaians as a whole are suffering.
Mr. President, the voice of Dr. Bawumia, a competent Vice President of the Republic, minim dear, se betime repeat this voice way ene a Ghana for Sabre was second term e wo wa ba mu ya, but the Ghana for kan nyina ne say for asonto from Council of State panifo kukuda metu president for the national security, the NIB, and all the security agencies. Mama report and inquire. If I want Ghana for bleedy. Now the air cost one. A brand new Mr. President. Ubian himself COVID Edward Hawaba. But there are never bro bet me I am Ghana for who say you are indeed in charge and you are on course to championing the development of this country. Until such a name we never cost one, Mr. President. Ghana is watching. Good morning.
Yo